And I'll never forget this. One day when I was there, a classmate of mine who had been sent to Argentina, where we have a number of churches, he came back and he and I were talking. And he just mentioned St. Ignatius' rules for discernment, these 14 rules for discernment of spirits. And there were some really fine, top-level Jesuit scholars of this in Argentina, and he was learning this from them.
Oh,
That made me realize, I guess there's a lot more for me here than I know, and I really should start learning it. And so I started systematically studying some of the really good sources on this. Then what happened, and this is the answer to your question, I started giving very simple little half-hour talks on these 14 rules, which are essentially about overcoming discouragement in the spiritual life. Much more could be said, but and to my mind, 40 years later, after having taught them for 40 years, they are the most powerful tool in the Catholic spiritual tradition of 2,000 years to help people understand their discouragement and to know what to do about it. It gives them the tools so that they can find freedom from it. Well, what happened was when I started giving just these simple talks and retreats, people started wanting more and more, to the point where eventually it moved out of retreats and became weekend seminars and trainings for spiritual directors, seminaries, retreat houses, parishes. And then my superior said, you should take this teaching that you've developed and you should make it a book. He had to say it 3 times before I realized he was serious. That's how I wrote the first book on it, and then the rest of the books have followed. So it has now been full-time for over 20 years. So the answer to your question is, I only really discovered the power in these 14 rules by people's response to them. I was trying to be responsible and learn them well so that I could present them well. Well, there's 2 things people always say, let's say at the end of a day of teaching on this or a retreat of a few days or a weekend, they say 2 things. 1, nobody ever told me this before. And then the second thing is, everybody should know this.
Yes.
They're absolutely right, which is why right now, with my superior's encouragement, I'm in the process of setting up an institute to get other people involved. And our goal is to reach 1 million Catholics a year with this teaching.
Amen.